Howdy guys, Attorney Walter Hnot. We're going to be doing another blue state. Specifically, it's on the high inflation side of things. Of course, we look at inflation states versus low inflation states. The high inflation states are always kind of your blue states, plus Alaska, which is a red state. And then all of the kind of less inflation states are your red states. The blue states, they tend to go ahead and struggle when it comes to housing, when it comes to basically food, groceries, things like that, because they can't control them, because that's more based off of a natural market of capitalism. Whereas the red states tend to struggle with medical, tend to struggle with, for example, your utilities or your transportation, things like that. They tend to be a little bit higher for, of course, the red states. However, the red states do better with capitalism, which is, of course, for the housing industry and, of course, the food industry as well. Let's go through real quick Oregon. Now, remember, the metric, which is the federal metric that's in the middle of the inflation states versus the low inflation states, is the 8.7 that we're likely to see around October 13th. Of course, it is a couple of days before that, and we're going through each state so I can explain it. Now, while the federal 8.7 average is around the 8.7, Oregon is more like around 9.83 based on their math. I still think their math is very wrong. It's not okay. It's not consistent in the way they calculate it. And then we know this because a nonprofit came out from 2000 to 2020. There was a 40% decrease in the worth of the benefits that people are receiving. With Biden's mass inflation years, the 2 years there, we're looking at from 2000 to 2022, about 50% of benefits worth have actually been lost from the cost of living adjustment not keeping track, not catching up. As a result of that, basically every check you get in the mail going into 2023 should be literally twice the amount that you're currently receiving. And that's the rate you would have received in 2000. That's how crazy this cost of living adjustment calculation manipulation has become. Let's keep rolling through this and do Oregon real quick. Let's do some categories: the index, grocery, housing, utilities, transport, health, and miscellaneous. Index, cheap states. Oklahoma 85.7, Iowa 89, Montana 104.8 is the middle, and then Oregon is 120.6. That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. All right, the grocery, let's go into that. Cheap states, 92 for Kansas, 93.3 for Oklahoma, a middle state, Montana again for 102.5, Oregon 107.1. That's not bad. That's not bad. Usually the blue states tend to do poorly with groceries. Let's check out the housing situation, though. All of the blue states are terrible with housing. The housing costs are absolutely out of control. Housing, Mississippi 68.5, Oklahoma 71. Let's go to a middle state, Utah 108.2. Let's go down to Oregon 144.3. So Oregon's housing situation for inflation is absolutely insane. And because they have really high inflation, they boosted the national average for the COLA because they were on the high side, which made the COLA boost go up, okay, as opposed to busting it. All right, let's go through this real quick. Let's go into the utilities category. 89.7 Mississippi, let's see, 91 Georgia, middle ground for utilities was Wisconsin, 102.7. Let's go down to Oregon, 106. So that's really good. They kept their utilities low, and the blue states almost always tend to keep the utilities low. Let's go over to transportation. Let's look at some cheap states. 90 for Alabama. Mississippi was at 93.3. Oklahoma, 90.6. Let's roll down to a middle state, Minnesota, 103.4. Let's go down to Oregon, 132.6. Now, Oregon did not do a good job when it comes to transportation. That's a mass inflation problem right there. Let's go over to health. Health, the blue states tend to do well with health. All right, so let's go through this. Cheapo states are Alabama, 89.6, middle state, Wyoming, 100. Oregon is 102. Yeah, blue states tend to do very good with keeping healthcare costs down. Very good with healthcare costs down, transportation costs down, utility costs down. Absolutely horrific with housing and groceries. All right, let's look at basically the miscellaneous category. Let's look at the cheapos. Kansas, 89. Oklahoma 91, a middle state 103 would be Virginia. Let's look at Oregon. Oregon is 109. 109 isn't bad. So, the big thing when it comes to Oregon is, of course, this housing. It's totally and completely out of control, which means the retired, the Social Security Disability Insurance, and the Supplemental Security Income recipients, retirement, SSDI, SSI, your survivors, disabled adult children, those people are not going to be able to continue to live in that state because they won't be able to afford it. That's the problem. All right. Hopefully the state will be able to get its inflation better, more in control. If you would answer this for me. Think about it. Do you feel that Oregon is moving in the right direction when it comes to bringing down the inflation, or do you feel that they're just keep moving in the wrong direction, keep making inflation worse, and it'll just become harder and harder for those who received a fixed income check from the government to be able to survive? Anyways, I've got to grab Shadow. He's outside. I put him off just for a little bit, and he like came right back to the door when I started the video. But I'll catch you guys a little bit later. You have a wonderful day. Please remember to like, subscribe, and leave 5-star reviews. I'm going to put the link in the chat, but remember, if you're not sure how to go ahead and leave a 5-star review based on the link, or it just doesn't work, please Google Disability Resolution Law Firm, and leave a 5-star there. Remember, every Thursday for the non-clients, you want to be a disability claimant, that's fine, 9 to 5, give me a call. For those who are non-clients, 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Thursday, give me a call on the same phone number. I answer it, we do a live show, and we go from there. Remember to use a fake name for that. All right, have an absolutely wonderful day, and I'll catch you a little bit later. Thanks so much, and we'll go from there. Thanks so much, guys. Bye-bye.